the city of New York, Boricua from the Bronx.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Angel R Talk, and you are listening to Not Just NYC Talking. Today I have the distinct pleasure of being joined by my little sister, Nelise. I call her the Blumps, because when she was little, she was plumpy, and somehow Plumpy became Blumpy, and somehow Blumpy became the Blumps. So she's the Blumps. We're going to be talking about a couple of shows, some random stuff here about life. We're just going to have a good time. I love hanging out with my sister. I love being around her. She makes me feel good. And I miss her terribly right now during this quarantine. So have a listen. This is me and the Blumps talking about some TV shows. And by the way, there will be spoilers. So be prepared for that. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Thanks for tuning in. Remember our website, nyctalking.com. And this is Not Just NYC Talking. I am joined by my little sister, based on Nell.
Hi.
Across from me on the couch is my kid looking at the television, and beside him is my wife knitting something, and my dog is dragging her ass on the floor. Don't worry, don't accuse me of being a bad dog owner. She will have her anal glands expressed today. And there she goes once again dragging. Poor dog. She's dragging her butt.
Oh my god.
It's weird.
It is so weird.
Yeah. I posted a video one time of this, and people started attacking me. And, you know, your dog has worms. You don't take care of your dog. You're a freaking horrible dog owner. And I'm like, we're taking her to get her anal glands expressed. It just so happened that she was doing it, and I filmed it. And people lost their shit on me.
Wow.
We live in that type of a society right now, that
For
any
sure.
little thing you post will be scrutinized. You'll be attacked. Even your dog dragging their butt, they'll say, you know, I had somebody like lose their shit on me saying that, you don't take care of your dog has worms, you need to kick her to him. It's like, dude, she just needs her anal glands expressed.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. I feel like you have, like, this just happens to you. Like, you have such a following, and you're so opinionated. Opinionated. That's the word? Yes.
Anyway, usually I record by myself, y'all know, and that kind of, in my opinion, could be better if I had someone to talk to. So my sister actually came all the way down from the Bronx, New York. She came up here to Queens to join me and record, and we've been hanging out, having some little laughs and stuff. We always have fun. I enjoy being around my sister.
I enjoy being around you too, brother.
She makes me laugh. She makes me laugh, and we always have some good laughs and stuff. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to do it and record it and talk and stuff. So I'm gonna jump right into the controversy which she was talking about, and I'm gonna start with Parasite.
Wow.
We just saw Parasite yesterday, and that movie was crazy.
Dang.
Let me tell you this. I put up a post today or last night simply saying, let me forewarn you real quick. There will be spoilers here. So if you have not seen the movie Parasite and you plan to see it, skip up to, I will insert the time when we end this portion later.
Because we just don't know now.
Yeah, we don't know when it's going to end.
How far this is going to go.
So at some point,
yeah,
I will add the time here where you skip to, but skip to that time, which I'll tell you later.
Right.
So yeah, there will be spoilers. You've been warned. If you get spoiled, then you can go fuck yourself because you got warned. So here's a quick synopsis, right? And you correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
There's this family. They're poor, and this kid gets offered a job to help tutor a rich girl, and he starts to tutor the rich girl. Then he realizes that there's an opportunity to tutor the little brother, so he gets his sister in. And then they realize that there's a maid and there's a driver. So basically these people are trying to occupy all the jobs that this family, rich family, has available, but not tell them that they're together and they're a family, right? Mm-hmm. More or less the synopsis, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And everything goes to shit. I mean, it gets crazy. You have to watch the movie. We're not going to break down the whole fucking movie for you. But one of the sticking points, and this is why I got attacked on social media, was that I said that these people deserve what they got.
Yeah.
Right? I said they deserve what they got. And the reason I said that was because the guy got a job tutoring the girl, which he lied about his credentials, but he could do the job.
Yeah.
That's still a victimless crime, right? He got his sister in there to tutor the kid in art. She's an artist. She's talented.
Yeah. Which at that point was not taking anyone else's role because it wasn't even existing.
No one was hurt yet.
Yeah.
Right? It was a job that didn't exist. Nobody lasted at the job. She got the kid under control. Again, a victimless crime.
Yes.
Right? Then, and this is where I offended people, I said they got greedy.
They did.
They got greedy. I just said they got greedy. Now, the attack that they're talking to me of what? They're greedy because they live in a basement and they don't have food and they don't have money and they don't have anything. I'm doing air quotes, they got greedy.
Yeah.
Well, yes, they got greedy because up until that point, no one got hurt.
Right.
Right? No one got hurt. Then these guys went and they lied. They set up the driver by leaving panties in his car. And got him fired.
Yeah.
Right? So that the father could take over the job. Right? So they set him up. The daughter set him up by leaving her panties in there. And the motherfucker got fired. Right?
Yeah.
So now, that's the first victim. The first real victim of their treachery. They actually hurt someone to help themselves. Right? So the two jobs weren't enough.
Right.
Then they bring the father in. And they get this other guy who did a good job fired.
Right.
He was an honest man. He was doing a good job. They hurt him. Nothing else comes up of him in the movie. Then they want to get the mother a job. So they get her fired. I mean, I'm sorry. They get the housekeeper fired by saying she has tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is no laughing matter.
Right.
But they say she has tuberculosis because she's allergic to peaches and they put peach fuzz on her. And they got her fired.
Yes.
And then that's where shit gets really complicated.
It gets so real.
We're not going to tell you what's going down with the housekeeper. We're going to let you figure that out if you want to watch the movie. But the shit gets real based off of her.
Yeah.
And now that's the second victim.
Yeah.
Right? Now they have hurt the livelihoods of two people who did nothing wrong.
For sure.
Honest people. By the end of the movie, all kinds of crazy stuff happen. More people get hurt. Innocent people who have nothing to do with nothing because of these people's greed.
Right.
Right? So, in my opinion, if those guys would have just kept the two jobs and helped their family, that would have been okay.
Right. I agree as well. And, like, I feel like just really karma just kicked them in the ass, honestly. Like, the way it ended, too, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but he just
we put up a spoiler warning. If you're still listening to this and you don't want to get spoiled, you done fucked up.
Like, I get it to justify, like, the person who might have attacked you. You know, I get it, like, when you're poor and, like, you know, you have desperate measures and they lived, like, in a basement and they always smell really bad and the rich people were complaining about that, too. But
when they heard them say that, where were they?
They were in the house.
Did they belong there?
They did not.
Right? They were hiding underneath a fucking table.
Yeah.
So they heard shit that they shouldn't have heard. Right. They shouldn't have been there to begin with.
They should have never been there.
And it all stems back to their greed. It all comes back to them. And mind you, I know they're poor. Yes. I know they're suffering. So are we saying that because you're poor and you're suffering, that then you can hurt other people?
Yeah. Or like,
is that okay?
Or take what's not yours. Like, it doesn't justify anything. It doesn't give you a reason to do any of those things. And what really, like, I feel like the huge lesson in it too was that towards the end, like, their home got totally flooded and they lost absolutely everything. So it's like you can really just go all the way, like, to that point, like, oh, I want all of this, what these people have, and I want it. And you get to the point that it's just like you don't have anything now because you've just been wanting all of these things. And now you know, you don't have shit. Like,
so there was a big rain.
Yeah,
big
there
flood.
was a really big flood, and they lost everything.
Their basement got buried up to
Yeah.
the point where like they were covered in water to their shoulders.
Yeah.
Everybody in that neighborhood had to go to a gym. And while all this was happening, the rich people were fine.
Right.
And the rich people were saying, "Oh man, this rain was such a blessing."
Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
the other guy sitting there hearing this, doing his job, right? But to him, it was a curse.
Yeah.
It buried his little home, you know, his little basement home.
She's saying there's no pollution.
She's like, "Oh, it's such a blessing. There's no pollution. It's beautiful." And this guy's swimming in sewer shit.
Yeah. Literally.
You know. Now again, this isn't the Park family's fault.
No.
Those people were good to them.
Yeah.
They weren't, you know. So we live in a society, and I don't know if this was what the point of the movie is, and maybe I missed it. We live in a society of haves and have-nots.
Yeah.
Right? There are people who are rich. It's just how it is. There are people who have a lot of money and are well off. Y'all don't forget I got Invisalign, so some of my words are going to be kind of weird. There are people who have money and some people who don't. That's always been society.
For sure.
There's never been and there never will be a society where everyone is equal. We can talk about equality and treat everyone the same and shit, but let's be fucking honest here. We will never be in a society where every single person will be equal. There will always be someone rich and there will always be someone poor, be it by design or be it by their actions.
Yeah.
There will always be poverty, people who suffer because maybe they didn't have a good chance or maybe they did bad things. Who the fuck knows? There will always exist, and there will always be those people who are rich. Maybe they inherited their money from their parents. Maybe they got gifts. Maybe they were poor as shit and worked their asses off. There's always going to be the haves and have-nots.
Right.
In some cases, the haves fucked over the have-nots. I understand that could be possible. And in some cases, no. In this movie, right, I did not see anything from the rich people that made me think that they were bad.
Right.
They did not treat them, their workers badly.
They didn't treat them any bad, but...
No, they treated their workers well.
Yeah.
The people that worked for them, they treated them well.
They did add a little bit, I will say, like, with the little, the no pollution thing or the hygiene thing. It's like, rich people also forget to even acknowledge other people's stories sometimes. So I feel like that's what... like, they could care less of their background. Because the reality is that they didn't know. You don't know where this man really came from. Why does he smell such a certain way? He's working. However, you don't know.
But they're not saying it in front of him.
No, they're not. But there's a reason.
They have the politeness to not say it in front of him. The only reason he heard... So the guy heard them talking about his smell. Yeah. That's one of the things that happened in the movie. But he heard it because he was in their house when they were supposed to be away. His whole family came over and they started partying in the house. Yeah. They came back and they had to hide. Yeah. So they were hiding under a table. While they were hiding there, they heard them just... They weren't really bashing them, but they were talking about them. They have a certain smell.
Yeah, like a certain smell. Like they smell like the subway.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they smell like a poor person or whatever. But they still say he did a good job. That he's a good worker. He never crosses the line. It's just he has a strange smell.
Really, it just says a lot of human nature, honestly. And I'm just one of those people. Like you have.
Let me ask y'all this, right? We all live in most of us listening could potentially live in New York City. Right. Now, if you get in the motherfucking train car and there's a homeless guy in there who stank the fuck out of that car, you going to stay there or you going to move to another car? If you see a train car that's empty and the others are full, what are you going to do?
Fucking get on the full one.
You're going to move away. That's human. No, none of us want to smell stink.
Right.
And in the privacy of our own home, we talk about it.
But what I'm trying to say is, it's not that this man just wants to smell this way. It's just like I wish like he had reason. Like, why does this man smell this way? Like, you don't know where this man comes from. And that's what they should have known. Like, he's poor. And the rich man doesn't care. Where do you come from?
But they tried to present themselves as something else. You got to remember that.
That too.
We're talking about the poor family, right?
Yeah.
The poor family tried to present themselves as high-class taxi drivers, high-class drivers. They didn't come humble as who they are. Right. Even when the poor mother, was talking with the old housekeeper.
She's such a horrible person.
Treated her badly. She said, she said, you know, us poor people. She said, I'm not poor. Remember?
Yeah.
So she was trying to act as though she was superior.
Yeah.
And that whole family, including the father, they try to present themselves as something else.
Right.
Now, I understand it. You're ashamed. You want to,
Yeah.
somehow fit in or whatever. Like, I get it. But then
We
if
just
you're
always want more, man.
well,
It's
if you're
crazy.
presenting yourself as rich,
Yeah.
why do you smell poor?
Yeah.
That's what the guy's trying to figure out. Why do you have this weird smell if you're supposed to be this, if you're this rich person,
Yeah, for sure.
or this fancy driver? Or
I don't know
whatever.
why, but this conversation just reminds me of like people that I've met, like that live in like Dominican Republic, for example, because they're poor, but they learn how to be happy, and they wouldn't. I don't think they would go to that extent. I mean, people do what they have to do. Like, you can be walking down the street and somebody robs you. Like, you're in New York. Because someone thinks that you have more than them. But I don't know why. It just reminds me so much of that. Like, the stories that I hear about my dad and all these things. Like, these people learn how to be just happy with what they have. And these people were not. Like, you guys are poor and you live in poverty, whatever. If they were to have that mindset, they probably would have just, two people would have just had that job and that was it. But because I get it, like desperate measures, but nothing good comes out of that. And that's what we saw. Like, they lost absolutely every fucking thing.
Well, I go even beyond that. They lost life.
They lost life and they,
it's
everything. It's
pretty fucked up. Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom
They lost
was lost.
everything.
Life was lost.
Yeah. So I get it when like whoever.
And the thing is, though, the rich people lost.
Yeah.
Also, and again, they did nothing wrong.
They did.
They're just
They
wealthy. They're just wealthy people. They treated these guys well.
It was such a real like movie, man, because it said so many things. Because in reality, it's like I said, we can be walking down the street. I'm just walking, trying to get home, for example, in New York,
right?
And I come across this man who literally has nothing, but his story gives him a reason enough to hurt me. To just go ahead and take all the shit.
That he thinks in his mind that it's okay because he doesn't know your story.
Yeah, but that's not my fault. And
he also doesn't know your story.
And he doesn't know my story either. But that, like, no one walks around with that in their heads. Like,
no one gives a fuck about the other person.
Nobody gives a fuck.
So you mentioned earlier that the parks didn't care or acknowledge this guy's situation as they were talking about the pollution and the rain and all that. Yeah. But at the same time, now you're also pointing out the homeless guy or the crazy guy who doesn't acknowledge you or he doesn't care.
Right.
Humans were just selfish by nature.
Yes.
Right? And some of us are not selfish, but at the bottom line, when it comes to that basic survival instinct or just living our lives, we just
hurt other people.
And you might not mean to.
Yeah.
Right now we've probably offended someone. Maybe from what we said we've offended someone, right? There's probably poor people right now that would hear this and think we're siding with the rich people, or rich people who hear this and think we're siding with the poor people.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like that. It's in this movie. Let's focus on Park, the father.
Yeah.
Mr. Park. He got killed. He didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
All he did was, this fucking guy stinks. And if he stinks, he stinks.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does that justify killing him?
Yeah.
Look, I just said it. You any of you motherfuckers out there who are thinking shit right now, I bet you wouldn't be the one to get on that motherfucking train with the homeless guy who smells. You would go to another cart.
Yeah.
Fucking try and deny that shit. Try and deny it, and I know you're lying, you're full of shit, and you're just trying to look good in society.
Yeah.
There's the thing. People want to look good. They're not real. Mm-hmm. They're not authentic. Mm-hmm. We live in a society of haves and have-nots. There is a lot of inequality. There is a lot of injustice, and so on and so forth. I don't know what this film was trying to convey, if it was trying to focus on that.
Yeah.
But in this particular film, in this scenario...
That shit was crazy.
in this scenario, do you think Mr. Park deserved to die?
No.
They killed him. They attacked the whole family. Suffers now. The father's gone. They're still rich. They're still going to be fine. But the father's dead. The little boy is probably died because he had a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if he died, but they have 15 minutes to get him to the hospital.
Right.
He's probably dead. I don't know. They didn't show what happened to his family.
Yeah.
The daughter is going to be fucked in the head because she was dragging out the guy she liked.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck, right? The woman, the housekeeper got killed. She did nothing wrong. That woman kicked her down the stairs, and she got away with it.
Yo.
She got away with it.
Yeah.
She killed that woman, and she will not be punished for that because no one knows. She died. The housekeeper died.
She did.
Then the husband came out to get revenge,
Yeah.
and he didn't get to kill her. She killed him. She killed him. She stabbed him with the fucking meat thing.
Yeah.
He died.
Yo.
Who did he kill? He killed the son?
The son.
He just got the son. Oh, and the daughter. When the son didn't die. The son just got brain damage.
Oh, yeah, he got...
You know, so he didn't die. He got hurt real bad. He didn't die. The daughter, he killed the daughter.
Yo.
Now, if anyone deserved to die, in my opinion, it was the mother. The mother actually killed someone.
Yo,
She actually
was a
killed
very
someone.
horrible person overall.
I mean, she kicked the housekeeper down the stairs, and she eventually died. I mean, that person actually was the first one to kill.
Yeah,
The mother.
Yeah.
You know, they were all fucked up.
Yeah.
It seems that the women were particularly more brutal in this film than
Now that we talk about it, right?
Well, she killed it. The daughter was like, "Don't worry about anybody else. Screw everybody. It's just us. Just us." Remember when they were drunk on the couch? So I don't think she deserved to die.
Right.
She was fucked up. I don't think she deserved to die. The mother deserved to die. They should have killed her ass, but they
And
let
at
her
first,
live.
when the housekeeper, when she came in, she was like, "Please, like, understand," like, really trying to say, like, we come from the same place.
Yeah.
But this woman was too busy trying to portray this image that, no, I don't come from where you come from. However, your reality is that you live in a basement. So, like, she really tried to get that mutual understanding, but they wouldn't even get there because they were just trying to fight.
They could have all
lived down there.
They could have aligned themselves and been allies.
Yeah, but
and
they
make
didn't.
things work. But it brings me back to that word, that magical word that I said in the beginning, greed.
Mm-hmm.
They were so greedy that they didn't. In fact, the old housekeeper offered her money to just help the guy who lived down there.
Yeah.
And she just wouldn't go
She
for
wouldn't.
it. That's fucked up, man. And that woman was a good housekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
She was a good woman.
She was with them for years. Honestly, it was a great movie, and the fact that I don't have patience for things I don't really understand, like movies I don't understand, because it's a foreign movie.
This is subtitled.
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
everything was subtitled. Just a heads up. So like, I am not that kind of person, but the fact that I actually followed the movie, I read everything, and it really like got me. And I'm not that kind of person. If I don't understand it, I'm not gonna fucking watch it. Like that's it. But this movie like was really like
I was a bit on the fence about watching it. I didn't care because I didn't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. It's called Parasite.
Me neither. I thought immediately like some literally parasites like being infested somewhere or some bullshit, right? But they were the
parasites.
You know, you come into a home, you invade, and you come to fuck shit up. Like
they were and they had a great strategy. If only they weren't so greedy, it could have worked out for everybody. And even then, once they were greedy, they had the opportunity to keep it going. Yeah. By helping the old housekeeper. Yeah. And she was humble. She offered them money. She was nice. These people were just fucked up, man.
I feel at the end. I feel like, like
they got away with murder.
They got away with a lot of shit, and they lost everything. And they
didn't. You know, they suffered, but they didn't suffer as much as they should have. Well, their whole family got fucking wrecked, but
their home was wrecked.
I mean, like the thing is that the rich family suffered as much as they did. They also lost a loved one. They lost their home and stuff. So my problem is that they should have lost more because they were the bad ones. They were the bad ones, and I don't.
Survived.
You know, I'm curious how my friends would argue this. The ones who are attacking me, like, what would their argument be in favor of this behavior? Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know the Korean society. Right? I don't know how
Right, neither
Korean
do I,
society
just to-
works.
yeah.
You know, I can only create the parallels in our society. You know, black, Latino, as opposed to like the you know the white
Which
white
also
privilege
face a
and
lot of struggles
you know
as well.
so
And
but I would never agree that well in some cases yes there are some really fucked up people out there who hurt poor people to become wealthy. They
Right.
stand on the shoulders of the poor.
yeah,
They exist, but I didn't see anything from the Park family that indicated that. I didn't see
I
it.
didn't either.
I didn't see them treat their workers badly.
No.
I didn't see them do. You know, they. In fact, I felt like they treated them well.
They did.
First of all, the boy was hooking up with the daughter.
Oh yeah, who
So
was,
he was-
underaged?
Fucking pedo bear.
Yeah.
You know, but the guy was getting intimate with her. You know, she was a sophomore in high school. So what's that?
So
15,
She might have been
14,
like
15.
15, 16.
And they never say his age, but they imply he should have been in college.
Right.
So he could be 18,
Yeah.
right? So, but that's a whole other topic
Yeah.
that I don't even want to get into.
Yeah, forget it.
We all know how I feel about fucking pedophiles.
Yeah.
But the point is that they treated them so well that he was going to potentially be able to be with that woman, become, when they get older, become boyfriend and girlfriend, get married, and he could be a part of this family.
Right.
You know, the daughter was raising the boy, teaching him and stuff, and could have eventually and said that I'm the sister or whatever.
Yeah.
This could have worked out for them if they didn't go so nuts. They fucked everything up,
For
in my
sure.
opinion.
They did.
So I recommend watching the movie. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was good. It's not like my favorite movie in the world. I don't need to see it again. I don't really care if I see it
Yeah, I
again.
don't either.
You know, but it was pretty wild.
It
and,
was.
and it got awards. And some people say it doesn't deserve the awards and all that. But
There's
really,
a lot of messages
we
behind
came.
everything.
How did we come upon it? Right?
'Cause, yeah,
he told
he
us. My
told us,
son told
yeah.
us about the movie. How did he come upon it? How did the people that told him about it come upon it? The film got some traction somehow. There's a lot of Korean movies, and me and my wife watch them all the time. We've watched them pretty crazy. Them Korean films are crazy, especially the horror ones. They're fucking nuts. And this ended up being kind of horror-like. Took a twist like that.
Yeah,
right?
it did.
So I watch Korean movies, but your general American public doesn't. But a lot of people have seen Parasite.
Right.
People who you wouldn't
So
think.
imagine making it to the American public and it's a
Right.
Korean
The-
movie, you know? So
The film
Yeah.
somehow got the attention of all these people. So it would be understandable that it became mainstream, and as such, it won some awards.
yeah.
Right? People were, some people wrote on my social feeds when I talked about it. Oh, they didn't deserve all the awards, but we're talking about it. You're talking about it. You're saying it doesn't deserve awards. It means you saw it.
Yeah.
And we saw it, and he saw it, and other people saw it, and enough people saw it that it created this major buzz. So, again, it's not like a movie that I care to see 100 times, but I enjoyed it, and it was definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that, let's shift gears for a moment. Once again, spoiler alert. Last night before that one, I had my sister watch Eternal Sunshine of
yeah.
the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
By the way, we paid for both of them. We watched them on Amazon. It wasn't
Amazon.
even free.
$4.
Yeah, they weren't even free. Like, I have an Amazon Prime.
It expires today.
And it wasn't free. We actually
Yeah.
paid extra to watch those. What did you think of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Oh my gosh. First of all, the name is like, you're like Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. I'm like, why is this name so damn long?
Yeah.
Anyways, but what do I think about it? It definitely had its twists and turns.
You didn't know anything about it when you saw it.
I did not. I mean,
You didn't even know Jim Carrey was in this movie.
yeah, because when I think of Jim Carrey, I think of everything being funny. So like to see him actually like in that play that kind of role was even just weird. Because I'm like, oh, something funny, but no, like he was really out here like playing this emotional man and like who had mental health issues or whatever.
Well, do you think he did a good job in this role?
I think he did do an amazing job. And what's her name from Titanic? Rachel? No.
No, her name is oh man, why am I trying
Kate.
to?
No.
Kate Winslet.
Yes,
Yes,
Kate.
Winslet. Everybody had a crush on her after this movie, by the way.
Yeah, she looked
Totally
so
crush on
gorgeous.
her.
Yeah.
Totally crushing on Winslet, and you know.
Dang. But I love the fact that it's
Hold up. I'm going to put you on pause in a second, right? I just got to say this real quick. I just checked, right? So they were greedy, living in a basement and barely subsisting, right? This is a comment I got when I said, we're going to put Eternal Sunshine on pause for a moment because I just got
something just happened.
I just got a pop up on my feed about Parasite. So I said, finally got around to seeing Parasite. All I'll say, without real spoilers, is that all the madness was avoidable if only they weren't so greedy.
Right.
The first two jobs were enough, and though illegal, were in essence victimless crimes. We talked about this, but they had to go and get greedy, and you saw how that turned out, right? And my friend writes me, they were greedy. They were greedy? Living in a basement and barely subsisting? They were greedy? She says that. And I responded, the kid got a job by lying. Then he snuck the daughter in by lying. Then he started really pushing it by hurting others with lies. That's when they crossed the line. When they start to hurt other people. We covered this. I say I don't feel one bit sorry for them. In fact, I think they ended up better off than they should have. The mother should have died. Now, I haven't read her comment yet. I just saw it pop up. So this is another response I'm getting here. Because you have never in your life lied out of necessity. Out of feeling hungry to the point is the lying is the only solution. In our cushy U.S., we make all these judgments because even at our worst, we have never felt what real need is.
Okay, hold on. No, I get it because, for example, if I'm trying to get into a certain field, right, in a job, and I have absolutely no experience, I'm gonna lie on my resume and say that I've done this, right? But that doesn't mean that's just me trying to get my foot in the door. But I'm not, like you said, I'm not gonna hurt nobody for it because that's exactly what they did.
They specifically plotted and took steps to hurt other people.
They did.
Their lives.
So
that's my problem with them.
So she's saying, whoever you are, I'll call you Fulana, right? Because that's what we do.
Fulana.
That's like the Spanish.
It's not an offensive term.
That's like the Spanish.
Well, is it
Jane.
an offensive term? Fulana, is it like a fool?
Fulana, like at least I use it.
Listen, friend, you know who you are. If you're listening to this, we're not trying to offend you. You know, I got nothing but respect for you.
That's just mean to me, like name unknown.
Fulana.
Yes.
That is just saying like this person, right?
Yes.
So just clarifying that because I ain't trying to disrespect none of my friends.
Me neither. Sorry.
So
what was I saying?
You're gonna say according to her,
right? But she's saying like basically that you for saying that comment, right? That you have never been to the point where you'll be desperate. Yeah, but we all have been. So I 100% disagree with her.
I disagree with the part of hurting other people.
Yes.
I have never in my life hurt someone to get myself ahead.
So basically, she would agree with getting into desperate measures and doing what you have to do because that's what
we understand
think.
That. If you want to feed, if you have hungry children and you want to feed, I understand that.
Of course.
But are we then justifying the criminal behavior? Are we justifying criminal behavior? Are we saying that it's okay to put peach fuzz on this woman, get her fired? And you know, because you're hungry or you're desperate.
Yeah.
You know, this has nothing to do with living in the U.S. and the fact that we, even at our worst, we're okay, right? I grew up poor. I grew up very poor. My sister here grew up poor. My son over there grew up poor. We all grew up poor. Now, yes, we had welfare. Yes, we had, a home over our head. We struggled, we suffered, but we had some stuff. So I acknowledge that.
Of course.
You know, we had that, right? But they did too.
Yeah.
They had a home and, sure, they were hungry and they had to work. So.
And you know what that reminds me of? Even in the beginning, notice how they worked and they all had that one same job. But remember, they did a shitty job.
Yeah. Pizza boxes.
They did pizza boxes and they did a shitty job as a family. Yet they still try to like finesse their way into getting the boss to pay them. Right? So even from the beginning, if you notice, these people were just they were
trying to get over on other people.
Yeah, and like that's just not. I get it, man.
Do a good job.
Yeah.
If they would have done a good job, and they didn't even take that much of a hit on how much they lost. right? 10%.
This is about to be a whole like separate podcast just for this damn movie because
seriously.
like there's just so much behind it.
That's my dog in the background. She's about to get walked and she's excited. So that's Peppa. We grew up poor. We grew up around poor people.
And I'm still in the area where there's poor people.
This is how we grew up. We're not, I don't know, middle class. I'm lower middle class. I don't even fucking know, right? I live fairly comfortable. I earn a decent living.
Yeah.
But I'm not rich.
Right.
I have debt. I have I don't own my own home. The bank owns the home. We pay the bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was growing up, I went to school. I got an education. I didn't sell drugs. I stayed out of the life of crime. Mm-hmm. There were people who grew up around me. Some are dead. Some are in jail. Some are still in the same life.
Yeah.
Right? They were desperate. We were desperate. I chose to go to school and do different things. They chose the life of crime, and they got punished for it.
Same.
So to talk to me as though I don't know what it's like because I happen to live in the U.S.
Right.
Well, these guys are in South Korea, and they had a home. They were in a situation. Those two kids got jobs.
Yes.
They got jobs. They were earning a fair amount of money.
And their parents were just shitty parents to begin with as well. Like, our parents were poor. They were poor. Where we come from.
Are poor. It's not like... And are poor. They still are poor. Our parents are not.
They're not, but they have a lot more than what they had before. But they definitely worked their asses off to fucking get a good, to survive.
That's right.
They didn't even do no shitty job.
And let me tell you this. I'm not going to say any details.
Yeah.
We hustled. Our family did some things that could be considered fraudulent.
Right.
In a way. When I was a child, you can't do shit about it because my father's already dead. So good luck trying to collect on that, motherfuckers. But the point is that there were some things that we did that were dishonorable to survive. So don't fucking talk to me about we don't know.
Yeah.
The one thing we did not do was fucking hurt other people.
Yeah.
We did not hurt other people. These two people, the parents, that whole family, actively sought out to hurt two people.
Yeah.
Right? She fucking left her panties in that guy's car. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
They fucking put peach fuzz on this woman to say she had tuberculosis. That's fucked up. They specifically took steps, planned, schemed to get these people out.
Yeah.
Not caring about what happens to them. Not caring about their stories, their situations.
Yeah.
We don't know. And as you'll see in the end, it becomes a factor. So, I don't feel sorry for them.
I don't either.
I don't feel sorry for them. I'm sorry.
What their parents truly blow my mind because honestly, like, like our parents, people that come from that struggle, they would try to embed into people like us, like, you need to go and strive for better and get us out of here, whatever. No, but these motherfuckers was like, nah, let's squad. And like if you notice, like the dad was praising the kid all the time for like, oh, you're gonna be some rich kid now and whatever, like praising him for not just being honest at all. So. Honestly, that shit just didn't take them nowhere. And I agree. I feel like they deserve that shit too. So, like...
We ain't...
it really blows my mind that she thinks we came from, like, everything. Because we didn't.
It's... What's that term? Virtual signaling. Virtual signaling, right? We're not virtual signaling here. We're not, like, all of a sudden, like, we're this... first of all, friend, you know who you are. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, but I know your situation, right? I know you're in a pretty good financial situation, right? That doesn't mean anything bad about you. It doesn't hurt you. Your situation isn't dire. We know that, right? You and I both know that. My situation isn't dire, right? I'm not as well off as you might be, but I'm not dire situation. But and I can't talk to your background. I don't know where you come from, but this woman, because I was going to say little girl because she's my little sister. This woman that's sitting next to me, the guy to my right, we all come from the South Bronx. We come from poverty. I'm talking welfare. I'm talking Section 8. I'm talking cupones when there were still physical paper. I'm talking being out there in the street with little trinkets, trying to sell them for $1 to be able to get some fucking food. Like, I'm talking like...
And I still see it till this day. Like, I'm there. Like, I'm still there.
I mean, we come from this shit.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking, you know, my dad was out there driving a gypsy cab, you know, to try to make some money. You know, my own dad stealing my fucking TV to sell it for fucking heroin because he was an addict. I mean, people think that because of where I'm at today, or the way I present myself, or how I live, or how I even behave, the fact that I'm not a fucking criminal and stuff, that I come from this ivory. I've had people say that they think that I come from a silver spoon. Like, first of all, I'm not even what you consider wealthy today.
Deep. Yeah.
You know, so even by today's standards, I am not wealthy. I'm just living.
Yeah.
We're just living the life of people who earn their way, survive, and we're not attacking poor people because we are fucking poor people. We come from that shit.
You know.
But here's the fucking point. I never hurt someone to get ahead.
Yes.
I never took from anyone to get ahead. I never stole. I never lied. I never cheated. I never went and fucking sabotage someone's life to try and get ahead. This is the sticking point, friend. This is what I'm saying to you. Yes, we did shit. We did shit. I don't want to specify what we did, right? Because
you just never know.
You never know what the hell can happen. You never know. So we did things. I stole a bag of potato chips from the store.
Okay.
I will say that. We'll talk about that. That was wrong.
Right.
I shouldn't have done it. It was wrong. But I did it. I stole a bag of chips. I was hungry. I stole a bag of chips. That's all you're going to get out of me on this in terms of admitting things, right? We did things that were wrong growing up. But other than that owner losing a quarter, and he didn't even know he lost that quarter. They write this shit off as shrinkage. The companies have this into their... So, yes, I took a quarter out of his pocket. But in my mind, that is a victimless crime. That quarter isn't going to break him. Maybe a couple quarters. It's not going to break him. He's got insurance and so on. I never hurt a person. Like, I never said, okay, you have this. I'm going to take it from you. And then your life is fucked. Never did anything like that. So... despite the desperation, you know, when we didn't have food, and you know, we ate sausages, Vienna sausages, and my mom would steal McDonald's sandwiches to bring us food. Okay, she worked at McDonald's.
And she worked there. She
worked at McDonald's, and you know, there would be leftovers that you know is going to the trash. Mom would bring them home to us. Now, yes, she took them because I don't believe that they were just given to her. You know, like, here, take the leftovers. No, we took them. We fucking hustled to survive. Again, victimless actions. Never hurt another person.
Never.
Or attack another person or
it's just,
so I can't accept what they did is okay. I just can't.
I know like the living situation and like foreign place, like, you know, place like they're in Korea, it's a lot more intense than a struggle here because we have more support.
I can't speak to that because I don't know.
I wouldn't know either, but from what we saw, but not even that. Like my dad is a freak. My dad is an immigrant. Like, and his struggle was real. Like he came here with nothing, literally nothing, from house to house, house to house, and he had people help him, and he never did anything that had to, you know, that was, you know, well, sacrificing other people's shit. It was
that's
just
a good person,
right? But that's a good person. So
there is a distinction between good poor people and bad poor people.
Exactly.
These
but
people,
they were bad poor people.
Yeah, they were bad poor people. So I'm sorry. Listen, I feel you. I understand that there's There's a division between the 1% and the haves and have-nots.
And I also understand when it's like sometimes you do have to lie in order to get what you need, because I'm not, for example, like that kid, the girl, his sister was so smart that she made a fake diploma for him or some shit, or degree.
They hustled. They did their thing.
Yeah.
They did their thing.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
That's
up
fine.
Until they started to hurt other people. And that's where it got fucked up.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't know if you're listening to this, but that's why I'm saying I have an issue, because they hurt other people. Mm-hmm. That's where it was wrong. And you're saying that because we live in New York or in the U.S., we don't know what it's like to really suffer. And, you know, I have friends of mine who were homeless. Mm-hmm. Guys I grew up with who were homeless. They didn't have anywhere to sleep, eat, and they never robbed anyone. They never stole from anyone. They never broke into apartments. They still didn't do crimes. Yeah. They were poor. They suffered. We were poor. We suffered, but we never hurt other people. And we should just leave it at that. That's the distinction. We're gonna be going on. Yeah. And on. We'll be on this. We'll be going on this forever. Yeah. The difference is you don't hurt other people. If you hurt other people, that's where I can no longer feel for you. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Beautiful movie. Beautiful movie.
I'm fucking spent. I'm emotionally spent right now. Like, I am drained.
You're pretty good with picking your movies, huh?
I am drained right now.
Is Parasite.
I am drained right now talking about this topic.
Because it's like, it has such a message, honestly, and it was like, I'm telling you, I'm not even this kind of person. Like, I don't watch foreign movies. And oh
gosh, I am like I feel like I just did an emotional dump, like an adrenaline dump, talking about this film.
Me too.
I didn't want to talk about anything else at this point. Like,
right. But anyways,
we watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind before that, and that movie is this is like the 20th time I've watched it.
I was like asking you guys so many questions. I was like, wait, what just happened? We had to like rewind and like it was like
Eternal Sun. We're gonna call it Eternal Sunshine. Is a movie that you have to see more than once, right? Like, my sister has the advantage that we watched it with her and we explained things to her, having already seen it. Well, I watched it the first time and I was just as like, what the fuck? As she was.
I still feel like, what the fuck?
You know? Yeah. So I had to watch it a second time.
Yeah.
And then a third time, and then on and on and on. And I watched it a bunch of times. And I understood it. But that first time I saw it, I was like, huh? Because of the way it starts, the way it continues, it doesn't make sense. But once you see it once and then you watch it again, and it makes sense. Mm-hmm. I love that movie.
It was really good.
I love the movie. I love the soundtrack.
There's a soundtrack.
I love the music from it. Well, the music that they put, you know.
But imagine life was really like that. Like, imagine.
Would you erase?
I would.
You would erase bad memories?
Yeah. It does make you the person that I am. However, this particular part was with love. And like, it was like with a partner that they had. They were partners. And if I can go back and delete and erase.
You would just erase the memory. You don't delete shit.
The memory.
The world still knows it. Everything that happened. The world still knows it.
That's fine, but I'd rather not.
It only doesn't exist in your brain.
I would do it.
But then you and the lessons that you learned
He'll
because
be like
of
starting over, right?
All the experiences are gone. Yeah. So now, if this guy told you a certain lie that taught you a lesson, and you learned a lesson because of that lie, and you will never fall for that lie again, you now have that knowledge. It comes with the hurt. If you erase that lie and that knowledge and that hurt, you're bound to repeat it.
Right.
Now, that's not to say that you won't repeat it regardless, but it's part of making you who you are. Mm-hmm. Who I am, this person, this thing you hear talking, is a collection of life experiences, good and bad.
Right.
What I am today, this person that you're talking to, the thoughts that I'm conveying, the feelings, even the the things I said about Parasite, all these things are because of a collection of experiences in my head that make me who I am.
I understand that.
If you erase any one of those, you change me. If I erase any one of those in you, you lose who you really are. So, you okay with that?
I have such a shitty opinion. It's that the thing is, in this particular situation, we weren't, their struggle wasn't like a poverty thing like what we were just talking about in Parasite. This is about love. They were lovers. And love fucking hurts. It fucking hurts, like, so bad. And if I can go back, like me growing up and going through things and having shitty ass partners, honestly, I wish I can delete it. Because, like, right now, I don't know, like, at least when I was a teenager, I don't know, I just been through a lot of bullshit. I feel like I got nothing out of it. Maybe I portray the things that I've learned unconsciously, maybe. Maybe, and I never noticed, but I can't tell you. Like, I've been in so many situations where I'm just like, why? Like, why did I do this? Why? Why did I put myself through this? So it's just like, it's painful. And even now, I want to erase it because it's like, I can't believe that I've reached such extent. I put myself through such things that, like, now I'm just like, why? Like, Nelise, why would you put yourself in these things?
So that's your lesson. What you learned was, I don't do these things to myself anymore.
Yeah.
If you take that away, then you lose that lesson, and you're bound to repeat it.
Because right now, I feel like the person that I am, I guess you're right, yeah. The person that I am right now has absolutely zero tolerance for whatever because of the shit that I've learned. Like, once I see a red flag, it's like, you're fucking out. Like, you don't want to do this.
That wouldn't happen if you erased it.
You're right. Fine.
You wouldn't know that. So you would not have your life experiences. Yeah. You wouldn't have the knowledge. I wouldn't do it because of that. Yeah. You know, we're talking about that. It would bring me to this one girl named who you actually met. You were very young. I remember her. But you were friendly with her, and she was friendly with you.
She used to bring me, like, goodie bags and stuff. I remember.
She was... Damn, I shouldn't have said her name.
Well,
Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter.
To you,
I was super in love with this girl. I remember you now. She remembers you. I mean, we're still connected, but we're not really actively friends. I mean, we're both connected and stuff, but we haven't seen each other or really spoken in years.
Anyways,
but I was in love. I thought I was in love with this woman. And oh man, like I reached such a low point chasing her and trying to keep her. I can't even admit some of the stuff that I did back then because it's so humiliating to me. But that loss, right? It taught me acceptance.
Wow.
It taught me to understand that if someone doesn't want to be with you, it does not matter what you do.
Yeah.
You will not get them to be with you. Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing. And this is why, and as a matter of fact, it helped me. It made me a better person. I was a very jealous, dominant, possessive man.
What is the process to getting to acceptance? Like, how do you teach yourself that?
It's not taught. It's experience. Does experience teach? It's really not good. Taught. It's lived. It's lived. It's realizing like I had no fucking choice.
Yeah.
The bitch left. She left. You're not a bitch, okay? You're not listening to this anyway. Who gives a fuck? Fuck off. Look, she left me.
Yeah.
She left me like in a pretty fucking cruel, cold-hearted fucking way, man. Fucking cold. Cold as fucking ice. Like, it fucking hurt. And there was nothing, no number of tears, no begging, no pleading. I showed up at her college dorm unannounced, pleading with her. And she was in school in fucking Stony Brook, fucking 3 hours away. I took a train out there, not letting her know I was coming, begging her, pleading her to see me, to spend time with me. I was fucking pathetic. Yeah. It was fucking pathetic, and she wouldn't. She wouldn't. You know? Yeah. She told me she was going to spend a weekend with me, And then she went to Florida that weekend with her ex-boyfriend. Just fucking, I mean, what choice did I have? What fucking choice did I have? Like, I fucking
You can't
cried.
control other people's actions, but, you know.
So understanding that.
Yeah.
And accepting that. Like, knowing that you can't control what the fuck they do. You can't control it. And what are you going to fucking do? You're going to let yourself sink into fucking oblivion over this fucking person?
Yeah.
You know, and I had to go to that. I had to sink. I had to suffer. I had to be at this low point. And at one point realize, like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
I am a good fucking guy. Mm-hmm. I'm a good person. I deserve to be happy. You know, I can be happy. Mm-hmm. There's people out there who want to be with me, would like to spend time with me. And if I haven't met them yet, I'll meet them. Right. But I'll never meet them if I'm fucking sitting in the fucking couch crying over this fucking woman who doesn't want to be with me, who doesn't give a fuck about me, who hurt me.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like I had,
fuck.
You know, like it came. I don't know that it's taught. I just had to just go through it.
That's crazy.
I just had to go through it, and the point I'm making is that experience taught me to never fucking do that. Yeah. It hurt. You know, there's still times when I step out, and if the weather is a certain way, I'll breathe in the weather. The weather. The time, the air, the light.
Okay, tell me more.
It reminds me of when I used to go see her.
Oh no.
You know how a smell can remind you of a person, or a song. A song's really big triggers on that. You know, the weather. There was weather when I saw her. Yeah. There was a certain type of weather that I used to see her. When me and her were together, it was like the summer when it was cool. And warm. No, this is okay. I'm fucking talking about my past. Yeah. I'm talking about my experiences. She's worried that my wife will hear this. And first of all, she's not even here. She stepped out to walk the dog. But even if she were here, I have no problem with her hearing this. Because it's made me who I am. The weather. Damn. You hear me on this? Yeah. The motherfucking weather. Like, I would step outside. I remember I stepped out one day and the weather hit me and it just fucking hit me like a wall. Like, I felt my insides sink. I choked up. Like, I got hit in the fucking wall. Remembering, this is the weather I used to see her in.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
These experiences taught me stuff, though. That's why we're talking about Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah,
they taught me.
Real quick, if you haven't seen the movie, because we're just blurring it out. We never said what it's about. So, basically, in this movie, there's a couple, right? And they meet which you find out in the end that they meet at a beach party. So they meet at this beach party and it's cold as shit, which doesn't matter.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert. But it's really old, so. Anyway, so.
If you haven't seen it by this point, you can go fuck yourself. You don't matter.
Nice. So anyways, what was I saying? So they met at a beach party, whatever. They had some sort of argument. This girl comes across this clinic. And it's a clinic that basically they have all these machines and all these things that can erase sections that you don't want in your memory that will hurt you. So she went into that, and the guy was busy trying to figure out what was wrong with her. Why doesn't she know who I am? All of these things. And he figured out how this happened. So he happened to go inside the clinic as well. And he asked for the same services, right? Basically, trying to get it away. And he realizes, like, while he was trying to get it out, he didn't want it because in the process of it, he was seeing everything again. Everything they went through again. But they were trying to fight it and basically, correct me if I'm wrong in anything, but they were just trying to fight, like, resist the process of it because he realized in his mind.
As we're watching the movie, he's in his memories. Mm-hmm. He's in his memories, and in his memories, he becomes lucid. He's aware that it's being erased. Yeah. So he's trying to salvage those memories. Right. He wants to stop the process, but he can't because he's drugged up and they got him knocked out and they're trying to erase the memories.
But she's in the memories as well, trying.
Also lucid. Right? Yeah, she's also. But now they're in their memories and they're aware of what's happening. Yeah. So we see them going through these motions, but it's not real. It's in his head.
Yeah. And to pinpoint it, like, it's so funny because we do things um, unconsciously. And she says, in his mind, when they're together, meet me at this certain place. So to make this short, the whole process ended. And there was another story where the doctor had a fling with a younger chick who happened to be his friend. Yeah,
that's
but
not really
she
relevant,
revealed everything though.
Right. That's
She
true.
was
That
the
is
person,
true.
so she matters because she revealed everything that they went through. Right. So unconsciously, they go and meet at this train stop, which they said in their minds that they were going to meet, and unconsciously,
as it was being erased,
right? As it was being erased,
they ended up in the same place they met.
Right.
They ended up after both of them erased each other's memory of each other. So now they don't know who they are anymore. It's
kind of hopeful. I feel
they still got drunk. My hairs are standing on end talking about
like
it.
It gives me a little bit of hope.
It was beautiful that the fact that they erased each other from each other's memory, and they still ended up at the same place by themselves in Montauk, still drawn together on the train, talking to each other, hanging out again. Like it's fucking
like it was fresh.
It's poetic,
and
it's poetic.
It was. And not only that, but she started freaking out that all of that was happening because they got to record themselves in the clinic, stating reasons why, like everything that was wrong and what they didn't like about each other. So they were hearing and they were like cringing when they heard everything about each other. Right.
So when the girl, the one who worked there, sent everybody.
She sent it because she'd been through it as well. She finds out that the doctor erased that particular section when they had a thing. Yeah. So she decided to be fair, she grabbed all the fucking files in that place and was like, here, this is for you, this is for you, this is for you. So they long story short, they heard everything and they came to the agreement that, hey, we're gonna start again and whatever happens, happens. Like she was saying how she was in a shitty place and he was saying, okay. And he said that he was in a shitty place and she was like, well, all right. So they kind of just came into their mutual understanding, like we're just gonna do it and just go with the time. And see what happens.
In the end, you just see them together.
And you see them together.
It's assumed that they stay together. That's what I kind of gathered from the film.
But it was a very different, like, it's not your usual love movie, I feel. And honestly, like, I guess you're right to sum this up. But I guess you're right. Like, it does make me who I am now. And I wouldn't say I like who I am now when it comes to love. Because I feel bad for whoever is to come now. Because I've been through the things that I've been through, and now I'm much stronger and more clear with my
expectations. What's wrong with being stronger? What's wrong with having expectations?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're not always going to meet anyone that has the same expectations as you, I guess. And the same.
Everyone's experience is what it is, and if a person is going to love you and they're going to really want to be with you,
I've been through a lot of shitty things.
Well, they're going to have to accept that this is what it is, and if you're worth it to them, they're going to work to conquer those things. Mm-hmm. We all carry insecurities. They're gonna try to calm those insecurities. You know, we're all fucked up. We've all been through shit. Yeah. We all have experiences. Some really bad experiences. It's like I could see the value in this. Trigger warning: rape. If someone was raped and violently assaulted and they had a horrible experience, that could be erased. That's something that you want to erase. Yeah. If you've been to war, trigger warning, combat. If you've been to war and you've seen people get killed and you've been in combat and you have PTSD, I can see the benefit in that. That's
a good point, yeah.
Erase those memories because they're horrible. And yes, they make who you are, but they really disable you. They hurt you. They really mess you up, right? Yeah. That I get. Mm-hmm. I get that. I understand that. I can understand a person doing that, and I would support it. Those are horrible experiences that nobody should ever have to live. No one should have to remember. But bad relationships, I don't see the... I mean, I get it. I can understand nobody wants to deal with hurt. But in my opinion, those experiences make me who I am. All those things that happened to me growing up in terms of the streets and the violence I experienced and all that, yes, they suck. The memories suck. They make me a little paranoid in the street and stuff. But they make me who I am. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't want to erase them. If I had a really, really traumatic combat experience or something really, really bad, then yes. Like even if some of the bad things that happened with mom when I was growing up, we had some pretty fucking rough times. With your dad,
Yeah.
when you were being born. I mean, some really fucked up shit that happened that it's really not necessary for anybody to hear. It's not really something we need to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some really traumatic experiences that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like those memories. They fucking hurt. They really fuck with me. They mess with my head. But again, they make me who I am. They make me appreciate my mother in a different way. They make me understand her. Understand her, make me appreciate her. They shape me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to get rid of them, regardless of the pain that they bring. These are not memories that they really do. They. I mean, one could even say that they affect our bond. Like they affect the bond you and I have, because it was always, among all the things that were happening, I was protecting you. So I couldn't get rid of those things because they would affect our bond. They would affect my mom's bond. They would affect certain things that just shaped me. And I wouldn't want to change that. And I'm not the best fucking person, but I am me, and I don't want to lose me.
Yeah.
Or anything about me. I wouldn't want to lose that. That's what scares me most about death.
Yeah.
Not so much the death itself or it's just that all these things that I've lived, all the experiences and stuff, they're gone. All that's gone. Everything that,
It's the circle of life.
Yeah, but the all these accumulations of experiences and feelings and all these things.
That's how you know it's like just, I don't know.
It's terrifying to
yeah.
me. Like it scares me so much. And there's people out there like brains that have done so much, that they could do so much for the world, and they die. And all those things go with them, and that's the kind of shit like I guess being relevant.
I feel like, it's life. Like, that's what happens. But, like, this kind of reminds me of the whole Kobe Bryant situation, too. Like, he was this person, and bam, fucking got in a helicopter, you're gone. Like, and that's just the way it works.
With his daughter.
And
all that time.
But that's it. Like, that's life. Like, and you're learning just for these moments. Like, it's just, I don't know, But that's why I was talking about this with my friend. Like, because we grew up pretty religious, I feel. Well, I did a lot more. Like, I was always...
We grew up in church.
But now that I'm seeing more and I'm kind of getting an understanding about the world, I wouldn't want to say that I'm like, oh, I don't believe in God and whatever, but just things don't make sense to me right now, because it's just like, how is it that we go through all these things and someone out there has a plan for us? But yeah, it's like, no, did you know you were going to die? Did the person up there know you were going to freaking die? So,
the simplest way, and no disrespect to anybody in religion.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to take it there.
There's an invisible person in the sky.
Yeah.
Or somewhere. Regardless of your religious belief. Maybe there's multiple persons. There's one person. Or
different versions of one person, which is what it kind of is.
Whatever it is. You believe in some deity out there.
Yeah.
Who sees everything, knows everything. But this deity allows babies to be raped.
Right.
That's cool.
Right.
Explain that to me. Mm-hmm. Make me understand that.
Yes.
And I'll submit to religion.
Yes.
Make me understand that.
That's exactly what I mean.
That's the thing I'm waiting for.
And not even that, but like just me. Like, I've been searching for such a spiritual healing for such a long fucking time now. And I haven't found it yet. I'm going to church and I'm like, okay, right here, I feel great. I'm inside. It's an intense feeling, but I get out, I'm still going to have the same fucking problems that I have, I feel. But I don't know. Right now, I'm just at a place where I feel like it's just a simple universe. Like it's just whatever happens. Because how is it that God's got a plan for you? How?
What's the plan with allowing babies to be raped?
And what's the plan with getting on a fucking helicopter and someone out there knew that you was gonna die with your daughter?
What's the plan with a child being born only to die a year later of cancer?
Yes.
Like, what are the plans?
Yes, that's how I've been feeling. And I feel I'm having trouble with my acceptance lately because, again, we grew up in church. We grew up in church. And it can work for some people and it cannot work for some people. Like it works for my dad because he's had his own problems and his own wounds to heal, and that's where he goes to, right? But right now, I'm just like, why? If someone out there has a fucking plan for you, why? Like, what is the point? You know, like you take this person and what you're going to hurt his wife now, what she's going to do with the other 3 kids. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me right now. And not just that, but that one aspect, like that one story was so awakening for me because that's just the reality I feel. So now, whenever I'm asking for something or I'm hoping for something, I feel like I'm always two-sided. I'm like, well, universe, please bless me with this, or God, please bless me with this. Like, and I feel I've been judging myself lately a lot because, again, we grew up at a church, and I feel bad for even like thinking this way, but it just doesn't make sense to me right now. And you know, I've been down point, like I've been on my lowest point too, but it's just like faith. It's just weird. So, you know, I'm not sure how I got here, but I made it here. But to this topic,
how did we switch into religion? I don't even know how we got into this shit.
I don't know how I switched it to that, but I definitely took it there.
Listen, I respect religion. I respect people's beliefs. I believe that
Oh, we took it there because you were saying that, you know, the things you go through make you who you are, and that then you'll die. It's
right.
What you were gonna say. Yeah, right. So and then you die. Like you go all through the bullshit, blah 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 blah. But what I'm trying to tell you is like all the bullshit that we're going through, everything is just for the time that is just gonna happen in the future, and it's time being. If I'm making sense, am I making sense to you?
Not in that last part. No.
Because what you learn, right, in the past makes you who you are. You come up with a situation that's kind of similar to that because you went through that experience. You're not going to put yourself through that, but that's for this time being right now. Like, it's paying off right now.
Right.
And that's it. It's just simple. Then you die. Like, that's it.
But we all want to, like, continue to be remembered and exist, and we want to be relevant, right?
We do, but
like,
it's the legacy thing, I guess. I don't know.
Well...
But you taught me things, so if you were to be gone, I can say things that...
live on through you.
Yeah, that my brother has taught me.
You know.
So you haven't done it in like a... It's an infamous way to us because you're someone to us.
Right.
But not to everyone.
Well...
Not as big as,
if you look at,
like Kobe Bryant.
You know, well, if you look at Kobe or you look at Michael Jackson, yeah. I mean, these guys who changed the world, right? I mean, they were the huge, huge people and stuff. You don't really see much more Kobe news. You just saw it the first few days.
Yeah.
And it's only been a couple weeks. So, he'll always be remembered and stuff, but he'll fade to the background. Just like Michael Jackson, just like Prince.
Right.
Just like, you know, so these are people who are so much more known than any of us.
And this is how we got to religion because
if those guys are forgotten, imagine us.
Yeah. But that's how I got to religion because
when you're gone and he's gone, we're going to be like our grandfather. We don't fucking know shit about him.
Yeah.
Ham's gonna... Well, I'll probably be in Ham's kid's life, so they'll remember me.
Right.
But then I'll be dead.
Yeah.
Then his kids will have kids, and we'll just be a grandfather. They have no fucking idea. That makes me sad. And it's a little selfish. You know, like you want to continue to exist, and you want that his kids and his kids say, well, you know what? The reason that we're a little better off is because great-great-grandpa survived the ghetto. And the Rodriguez clan is no longer in the ghetto because of great-great-great-grandpa.
Yeah.
He was the one who started it. You know, like you want to be relevant.
Right.
Now, that's our human desire to be remembered. To be remembered for the things we did. They won't understand or appreciate it because their world is going to be different. As long as Ham continues the path Ham is going, Ham is my son, by the way. As long as he continues the path he's going, he's going to be in a better place than we were growing up. Which then stands to reason that so will his children. And then assuming that his children, if he has children, continue the same path, they will be better off than he is.
Yeah.
And they'll never know the things we knew. The experiences we went through. They'll never know that the reason that they got there was because one of their ancestors decided to go to college, make a change. You know,
and
I want the motherfuckers to know that shit. That hey, I did that shit, motherfucker. It
can happen, but our grandparents didn't think the way that you do because you didn't have those things that you wish you had, right? So that's why you're saying this. But they wouldn't say that because maybe they did have it, but we didn't have it, and we know what it is to not have it. So we want them to have it. But that's a part of who you are now, right? But
you want to be remembered.
But you want to be remembered, yeah.
You want that.
Here you are making that awareness to us, like we can do that for you. You know, like
we're different. Yeah. We're the ones changing things for our lines, for our legacies. We're the ones changing it.
Yeah.
My mother did her best. My father did his best. Our parents, well, your dad's a different dad. They did their best, right? But we come from poverty, right? Now, we're still poor, but we're a little bit better off. Right. And he will never know the things that we knew. He will never go through them because he's already 20 years old. He's never going to experience being in front of the building at 12 years old getting shot at. Or a shooting happening and you're outside playing and you got to run so you don't catch that bullet. Because Dad, me, made changes, did what I had to do to get out of that life, right? And give him a better life.
If you think about it, you've already done it.
But now he's set. Yeah. His experience was entirely different. My son is 20 now, so he'll never go through that.
Right.
He's in college. You know, God willing, he continues his path and he makes a good life and he lives well and he has children and they will also live well. And they'll continue to improve or elevate what I call the Rodriguez clan, which is my line, right? And they'll continue going forward, having been removed from that through the efforts of one man. One man. And it's not that you want to be praised, but you at least want to be remembered and known that, this is where it started. Because if I would have taken a different path, then my kid would have grown up in the hood. My kid would have probably been a hood kid doing hood shit, and who knows where he'd be. He could be in jail. He can be in juvenile. We don't know. Right? So I've taken steps. And the reason I say these things and I know these things is because I look at my counterparts. The people who came up with me. Where they're at. Some of them are okay. Some of them are dead. Some of them are in jail. Some of them are still in the same life. Now their kids are exposed to the same shit we were exposed to as children. There's different circumstances. I'm not trying to judge anybody. What I want is you want to be remembered. And yes, it's selfish. Yes, it's about, a legacy or knowing that, man, that Angel Rodriguez was the one who changed the path for the Rodriguez clan. Because I don't like to speak ill of my father, but my father was, for a long time, he was a drug addict. And, I don't know what my thoughts are on that overall in terms of drugs and stuff, but the fact is that, the fact is that the reality was that we struggled. We struggled, and my dad did a lot of uncool shit. And I changed that trajectory for my future family, and I made the right decisions. And I feel like when I die, all that goes away. That's what scares me about death. No one will remember what you did. We will remember what Mom did, and we will always praise her. And I always praise her. Ham knows through us what Mom did and how she made us who we are, for better or worse. She raised us. I think she did a great job, and she did the best she could. And she raised 3 children that are good people. You know, good people. My mom did that because both of our dads were not there the whole time. So mom gets 100% of the credit. Ham knows grandma, and you know he hears through us what she's done. But one day grandma will be gone,
Right.
and he'll have children that may or may not meet her, and they won't know it.
Right.
That makes me sad. That they won't know the struggles before. Just like we don't know the struggles of our ancestors. We don't know. How did we... You're Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican. How did we become? Was there a forbidden love? Was there a trigger warning? Rape? Was there a rape?
Yeah.
I'm light skin. I look white. So...
I look black.
Does that mean that
Yeah.
a white conquistador raped a Puerto Rican woman and made me?
Right.
Was there a Puerto Rican native woman who fell in love with a conquistador who treated her well and fought through the obstacles to be together and then make our ancestors, and then that leads to us? Like, we don't know the stories. That fucking bothers me. It makes me sad. I'd love to know. I'd love to know, how did I come to be? How did you come to be? We don't know that history because it's not written. It's not documented.
It's not.
I want that shit documented. This is why I write a blog. This is why I share my stories. This is why I do podcasts. This is why I try to... I tweet. I write posts so people know. There's a lot of garbage in there that I throw in there that is fucking bullshit. It has nothing to do with nothing. But amongst the garbage, there are true stories that will keep my legacy alive, so that his children will be able to read, if they want to, about Grandpa. What did Grandpa do?
Nice.
And their children will read, and we can know the history of our family. It fades to nothingness. We don't know. I don't even know my grandparents' names. Well, Eva, that's mom's mom.
I don't know grandpa's.
Eva is mom's mom.
I know that. What's our grandpa's name?
I don't know his name. I can't remember it. Something Bracero. I don't know his name.
Shit, I don't know his
My
name.
father's mother's name? I don't know it. My father's father's name? I don't know it.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of any of them. That shit makes me sad. I would love to know where the fuck we come from. Where do we come from? How did we,
Literally, you live to die. Like,
fucked up. It's sad, man.
and that's it.
Shit. Hey,
Anyways,
listen. We had like...
This shit got deep.
Yeah, man. We had a gazillion topics that we were going to cover. And, I expected that we would start talking and just get to flowing, and it would just flow exactly like it is. It's almost 90 minutes now.
Ooh.
This is exactly...
To do.
No, I'm recording. I'm putting this as is.
Oh.
Guys, it's Angel Rodriguez at Angel Art Talk, NYCTalking.com. And I've been riffing here with my sister, based on Nell. At Based on Nell. Her name is Nelise, my baby sister. Super big gap between us, but we always have fun when we get together. And,
we're here. We're out here.
I'm glad to have her on my podcast. This is probably my best episode yet.
I love to talk.
Yeah, we vibed together. It was great.
Yeah.
So listen, y'all. Follow Based on Nell. You want to spell that for them?
Yeah. So that's BASED on ON Nell NEL. That's on Twitter, and then my Instagram name it's based.on.nell. Sorry, is this long?
Yeah.
But I'm more active on Instagram if you want to follow me.
I'm gonna get her to
catch me there.
Make them the same name.
Yeah, I'm working on the Twitter comeback.
Yeah, we're gonna make them.
There was a point where I had too much drama on Twitter, so I gotta cleanse that out first, and I'll get the ball rolling again because it's a lot of drama.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have her. I'm gonna try to convince her to use the same name for simplicity. Keep it simple so that people can find you on all platforms and stuff. Y'all know it's at Angel Art Talk, and this is the nyctalking.com podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining, Bumps.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
All right,
We're
y'all.
gonna do this again.
Yeah, reach out if anything. Y'all know how to find us because we just told you. Peace.
Deuces.